That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, God, it's a toad, son. Huh? It's a toad, dude.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
Kapow!
Boom. Get your popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready.
And let's talk fishing.
Trey made us a big old batch of popcorn out here in the studio, so we've been grubbing, hanging out. Welcome to Fishing Friday with the One Cast. Ben is camping with his wife for her birthday, so we wish them hopefully some good weather out there. That's I think that's what she wanted to do, so they went for a little camping trip this weekend, so he's not with us here in the studio. So you're stuck with Trey and myself. As always, head over to onecastfishing.com, use the code the OneCast, all one word, save 10% off your order. Support those that help us continue to do the show. Scrolling across the bottom are some organizations that we recommend you check out and maybe support if you have some money or not. Real quick on that, I'm going to share a little screen here. Let me see if it'll if I can get to pop up.
Share it.
There it is. So this is the Guardian Classic. If you've been listening to our episodes, we've talked about it. The Guardian Classic is down at Lake Murray in South Carolina. And what they do is they put on an event for veterans to get out and fish. Lake Murray boat captain, you sign up. It's what is there, $125. Sign up. They draw, put you with a veteran, let you out there and fish the event. Veteran big fish $500, captain big fish $500, guaranteed $1,000 for first place. Tons of prizes, tons of good people. The contact information is up there. You can go to For His Glory Outdoors on Facebook or on their website to get more information, contact, all of that good stuff. Definitely check them out. I'm like 90% sure that I'm going to go down and fish that, but we'll make sure that that's something that's going to happen. Trey, you got anything you want to throw up at the beginning before we get into this?
No, I mean,
No?
I was actually pulling up the stats from the Eufaula, Oklahoma Bassmaster EQs because I didn't get to see who fished it or who finished.
Are they open? Yeah.
Because I was down in Florida for a Help Our Heroes event sponsored by and hosted by Toho Marine. And I fished with a former MPFL angler and a current Toyota Series angler. And man, we crushed them on the Kissimmee chain, and it was a great time. It was my first time ever fishing Kissimmee. Is it Kissimmee? I don't know. Kiss me chain. And we went down there and fished against 77 other boats and came in 24th out of 78. So I was super excited about that. But looking at the results from Eufaula, pretty cool deal. Joey Nania finished in the he was in first place. Trey McKinney, who's an absolute hammer, finished in second. And where did our boy Milliken finish? He finished in 22nd, so he's got a really good shot at making the elites this year. But John Sukup crept up in the leaderboard and finished in sixth place. So I missed a little bit of the tournament stuff while I was out, and then I just came back from the beach. And I'll tell you what, man, and this goes for those who are listening. I just came back from the beach with my wife and kids. I owed that to them big time to take them down and get like a mini vacation and stuff. But I don't know about you guys, but feeling like a tourist in your own country is a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I hate it. Like everyone looks at you. It's like, oh, you're just a tourist coming through and be like, dude, I'm an American. I don't know. It just feels weird. You know what I'm saying? So we were down at Carolina Beach for the last couple of days, and Pete and his lovely wife watched the house and was able to catch some rays and go down there and enjoy the beach. But honestly, man, I'm ready to be back on the lake, and Pete and I are going to go hit the rivers this weekend and hopefully jack some jaws. So
yeah, we're going to head east and try to get over there on some rivers. I don't know what they're going to look like with all the rain we've had. It takes, if I remember correctly, from Gaston to what's going on, buddy? From Gaston to down there, the lower Roanoke, once they start releasing the water, I think it's 3 days to get down to that area. So should still have some decent water down there. I don't know. They haven't got quite as much rain, I don't think, as we've got. So we'll see what the conditions look like when we get down there. We're going to run around and see what we can do. So looking forward to that. If you haven't seen our Facebook posts or our Instagram story or anything, we have some new artwork hanging up here from our buddy Jeff Christensen. Jeff created our logo, which is there. I'm sure you all have seen that plenty. But we have the picture here, the crappie. If you're here in North Carolina, that crappie photo actually was the cover of the NC Wildlife calendar. It was 2 or 3 years ago. And then this picture here, which there's a much better photo of on our Facebook post, the river bass picture there, which I can pull up actually and show y'all. That one is going to be featured in next year's calendar. So let me pull it up here real quick so y'all can see it.
The bottom line, what Pete is talking about, is we're getting some really cool, unique swag for the podcast room. So between the paintings, the prints, all that stuff, man, like we're trying to deck this place out the best we can and make it, I don't know, user friendly or more viewable, rather than just plain walls. So we really appreciate, and what Pete's got pulled up right now is the piece that is sitting right behind him.
Yeah, so really cool picture. Jeff's a great guy, great artist. He's been doing art for the outdoors and fishing for a long time. He's done logo work for some of the biggest companies in fishing. I know he did some work for Penn Reels and some other companies. Obviously created that awesome logo for us. And so we wanted to showcase some of his art. If you're interested in checking it out, you can head to Kingfisher Designs .net. That's all. Kingfisher Designs is all one word, .net. He has all his prints up there, or the pictures up there that are available. Got a bunch of other stuff. He's got a gift shop. He does t-shirts. He does card decks. Does all kinds of stuff, sculptures. Really, really talented guy. Go to church with him. Jeff's an awesome guy, fan of the show. And make sure you check him out if you're looking for any of your artwork, or if you like what you see here, you can get with him and get you some for in the house. So Trey and I scrolling through Facebook earlier and saw somebody doing some pond management that had a stringer full of bass. I mean, probably had 30 of them on there.
At least.
And it got us to talking amongst ourselves about the drama created on social media when somebody keeps bass. So Trey,
so if you're on social media, whether or not that's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, it doesn't matter. If you want, and you're in the fishing world, if you want to strike a conversation, it may not be the conversation you want, but if you want to strike a conversation, hold up a stringer full of bass and say, these are going from the water to the grease, or whatever the case may be. There are so many people that get on social media and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you can eat bass. Like, you're a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, first of all, there's a creel limit on bass, just like every other species of fish out there. There's a season in some states. There's a creel limit, which means there's, limited to 14 inches. In North Carolina, it's like 212, and then the rest have to be 14, whatever. But the reality is there's a law put in place by the state for a reason. And it was interesting, like scrolling through Instagram and, or I don't know what platform it was, seeing this guy hold up a huge stringer. He had like 30 bass, like Pete said, and he was really proud of the day, like doing some pond management, going out there and catching those like 1 to 2 pound bass, 1 to 1.5 pound bass, to make sure that he could grow big bass. Right. So if you don't understand how it works, like do some research with it. 14 to 15 inches, right? Nothing bigger. That's exactly how it works with a lot of this pond management. If you have crappie, if you have bluegill, if you have bass, a lot of times it's like, don't keep any of the bluegill, keep all the crappie times a year, keep the 14 to 15 inch bass, let the bass eat the crappie, let the bass eat the brim, whatever. You got to call out the crappie because they eat a lot of the same bait fish that the bass eat, so on and so forth. But people get super nasty.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you're a bad person and you should go beep yourself. I don't know where the beep is at on here, but I'd beep it if I could. But it's like, come on, man. You know, like there's a law for a reason, and pond management is a big deal. So I just thought it was interesting, like going through social media and seeing how many trolls come out of the woodwork saying you're a bad person because you're eating a largemouth bass. Like there's never going to be another one ever for me to catch.
Yeah, that's the only one ever to exist. And I like them in cold water. I think they're pretty good before the water gets warm. Once it gets warm, to me, they get a little bit mushy, and I'm just not a fan. Tim, what's going on? The first, hey guys, sorry it took me a minute. I didn't have the stream up. That was Jessica, our friend over there at Black's Tire and Auto.
Yeah.
So Jessica, what's going on? Hope you're doing well tonight. I'll be by to see you here pretty soon because I need an oil change and I'm going to need some tires. Anybody in North or South Carolina, if you need anything auto related, check out Black's Tire and Auto. They are awesome, great service. Trey's been going to him for a long time. He's got me going there now. Taking my vehicle, I'll take my wife's there. Good people, man, and good service, fast service, good prices. So make sure you check them out if you're in those areas. But yeah, the whole like eating bass debate, man, like it gets old. And I used to be, I'm not gonna lie, I was somebody used to be like throwing back, but if you're clear about what you're doing, it what really gets me is when the guys are out there and they're keeping and they're eating, you know, those 4, 5, 6 plus pound largemouth, like
In the spawn.
like there's a time and place. I don't have a problem if you want to keep it eaten. I understand there's a creel limit, but if you're in a state where there's no closed season, use your head a little bit. If you know it's spawning season, you catch a big fat 6-pound female, like let that fish go. There's plenty of little buck bass males around that you can catch if you want to eat them, and I'm all for eating them because we need to keep our lakes healthy. You know, when we had Corey on a few episodes back, Corey Oakley with NC Wildlife, had people kept more bass and ate them when the spots first started to show up. Might not have turned into the problem that it is now. But, you know, there's a lot of hate that people put towards guys and gals that are keeping bass to eat, and it just gets old, man. It's the same, like, you see it when somebody posts up a picture of their PB and it's like a 3.5 pounder, and they're super proud of that fish. And everybody wants to start posting pictures of their 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, just like, why can't you just let that angler be happy?
Have their moment.
Like, let them have their moment. They're super proud that they went out and caught that fish. They probably haven't been doing it that long. They may only have a little neighborhood pond to fish in. It's not loaded with big giant fish. And everybody wants to throw their 2 cents in there and try to what's the word? I'm trying to not be a complete jerk. You know, it's like a measuring contest that
a beep measuring contest.
It's like a measuring contest. Who's got the bigger one? And that's not what it's about. Like if your PB is a 2 pound, I'm just as excited as somebody whose PB might be 14 pounds.
Yeah, like Stephanie, she's on right now, right? She's watching us. Stephanie, we know your PB is like 2.5 pounds. All right, so here's I'm just kidding. I just want to get some more comments in the section here.
I'll hit them for you later.
But you're right though. Like let that person have their moment. I will say on the flip side, anytime you put your stuff on social media, you are subject to whatever comes your way, whatever comment, whatever thumbs up, thumbs down, angry face. I don't even know what kind of emojis there are anymore, but you are subject to the world once you put your stuff on social media. So don't get upset. Don't get emotional when you put it on there. However, for me as a third party, viewer, I'm like, dude, you guys are nasty to each other.
Yeah.
Like if you want to eat bass, eat bass. The same thing as like killing a small 4-point buck on public hunting ground, you know? Oh, dude, check this out. It's the biggest buck I ever got in my life. Dude, let him go. Let him grow.
Yeah. Yep.
It could have been an 8-pointer next year. Well, you know what? If it's brown, it's down on public land. Like no one's keeping it there. You're going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. It just gets really annoying. It's the same SHI tizzle all over all these websites. And it's like, come on, man. Like just stop being nasty to each other. Be proud, like that people are actually out there in the outdoor space, enjoying it and stuff like that, and actually doing some management.
Yeah. Like it's awesome that social media has been great and it's been terrible because it opens that up where everybody's an expert or everybody has their opinion and it's easy to give your opinion. And you get folks that will say things and do things just to get a rise out of people. What's going on, Rodney? Hope you're doing well. Just to get a rise out of people and to start an argument. Like I forget, there was a post last week and I meant to tag you in it or send it to you, but somebody had killed a largemouth, a big one, like kept it to eat, which cool. But then they went home. What's going on, David? They went home. They filleted it. So they took a picture of it with their measuring thing. Went home, filleted it. Then they measured the fillets and put a picture of that on there. And then they took a picture of them as their front. Like you're showing that process not to be like, this is what I did with this fish. If you're measuring a fillet and putting it on there, you're just doing it to try to start drama. And that, that's what we're not about. That's what we talk about, anglers helping anglers. And Trey and I actually had a discussion earlier about like, when's the point where you've given too much information, when people know that you'll help and they're blowing up your inbox and they're asking for stuff. And, I help pretty much anybody that'll ask, but it's, at some point, how much information do you give for free and things like that. So it's cool. Coming up Tuesday, anybody that's on, you're going to sneak preview. We have the folks from Fish Tips coming on with us Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So next Thursday will be an episode with Mitch Isley, Elsie, Mitch Elsie, who fishes the MPFL. Sorry, Mitch, when you see this, I totally just butchered your name.
Pete does it all the time.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. So he'll talk about that. And then the following week, we'll have the Fish Tip folks on to kind of tell us their story. Because if there's another hotbed item in fishing right now, it is definitely fish tips. Stephanie said, before social media, winning meant so much more. Now you can be anyone, make content, and be more popular than the best fisherman out there. I hate it. Yeah. David said, I got to make me some popcorn. Yeah, Trey made us a big old bowl of popcorn. But yeah, Steph, it was, I don't know if winning means any less now. I guess when you're talking about, if you're looking for sponsorship or like pro staff or things like that, depending on how you're trying to do it, like winning is not as important as it used to be. You look at folks fishing at high levels and they don't need to be the best anglers in the world. If they can put good content together, there's a draw there, which I think is good and bad. It does take a little bit away from the tournament anglers and the folks that go out there and do really good. I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Like I don't want to say I hate it, but I also see what you're saying as somebody that does like to fish tournaments. And I don't know. What do you think, Trey?
We've had Stephanie. I will, my thoughts on this are, the days of you can be successful completely off tournament winnings. I'm not going to say it's over, right? Like KVD has his day, Jacob Wheeler, he's had his days. That's just to name a couple. But when it comes to, do you have to be the best angler in the world versus do you have to be generally good at everything? I think what we're seeing now because of social media is tournament winners aren't selling bass boats. Tournament winners aren't selling tackle. Tournament winners aren't capturing an audience to come watch BASS or the MPFL or BPT or whatever. I think it's that person that does relatively well at all the things. It's not the person that finishes last in the tournaments. It's the person that finishes maybe middle of the pack, but they're really good at social media. They're really good at engagement. They're really good at having a conversation with the fans. They're kind of like D, like the answer D, all the above. They do really well or do really good at everything, but maybe they're not like the best at one thing. And so that's why I talked about it before. Like, you don't have to be the best tournament angler in the world to fish a national level event and be successful. And we've seen that out of people's stats, right? And I know we've named a couple of them, but Bernie Scholes on the BASS, he's never hoisted a blue trophy. Gosh, I don't even know who else to say. Brock
Swindle.
Mosley just hoisted his blue trophy. G-Man, Gerald Swindle, whatever. All these people, they haven't won before, but they've done really well in the industry.
Yeah.
And, I just think because of social media, and like Pete said, it's been really good for certain parts of the spectrum. It's been really hard on other certain parts.
I think what it's done is when you have a guy like, and we'll use KVD, or we can use, more modern times, we can use Jacob Wheeler. Like, those guys have made their money through winning a bunch of tournaments and what they've developed through there. But what it has done is it's taken the guys like I'll use Chris Zaldane, for instance. Chris Zaldane's a great angler. He's been around. I mean, he has stayed qualified for the elite. So for I don't know, 15 years, he's been fishing the elite, something like that. So he's good enough to maintain points and finish high enough to be there. But he's not always a guy that's at the top of the leaderboard. He's always fished his own way. He loves to throw big baits. We've seen him bed fishing with jigging spoons, doing all kinds of things that are non-traditional. But when you watch that dude's social media, like his tournament recap videos are like full on movie productions. So what it does is it, to me, in my opinion, is it 15 years?
I mean, the last time he won was in 2015, and that was a Toyota Angler of the Year championship.
Yeah. So a guy like him who's finished fairly well, he's made a career, he's making some money.
100 times in the money out of 132 tournaments.
Yeah, but money's top 50.
Right.
So, but anyway, what I was saying, like, it allows him to supplement. It allows somebody to supplement that may not go out there and win a tournament a year or win every other year.
Boyd Duckett.
Like Boyd Duckett. Yeah, it's a great look at Boyd Duckett. Hasn't won
ever.
Hasn't, I don't know. Yeah, maybe never. I don't know. Hard to say there. What's going on, Elijah? But it lets folks supplement. So from a purely tournament, like winning or finishing, and that's where, you're putting your money, and that's where you're getting, like, yeah, social media has been a hindrance or has impacted that. But long gone are the days of non-endemic sponsors. What is Timmy Horton one? I'm not getting into Timmy Horton.
Pizza.
He did win that one tournament where he was so far ahead that he went back to the dock and ordered a pizza. But anyway,
I'll look it up for him.
So winning is the angler who can quick figure out what the bass want any certain day, 3 or 4 days in a row. Yeah, that's a good point, Rodney. Like tournament, there's some luck involved. Like obviously you have to be skilled. You have to know where to look for the fish, but sometimes it's being in the right place at the right time, finding the right stretch of river or lake, fishing the right points. And that's not always a matter of skill. It's a matter of knowing where to look, where the fish are, and then, taking advantage of that. But yeah, social media from a purely tournament fishing standpoint has definitely hindered, the importance of winning. But again, where I was going with that is the days of the non-endemic sponsors like Citgo, when they used to provide everybody free fuel, and guys were getting trucks and free boats and all of that stuff. Like those days are gone. So you have to find a way to supplement, to be able to pay for your boat, to pay for your truck, to pay for your house, to make sure your family has food on the table. And what social media and media in general, quick access has done is it's opened that up to other folks. We talked about if you go back way back in episode 3 or 4, whatever it was, we did our greatest of all times, right? And mine was Bill Dance. Mm-hmm. And Bill Dance left tournament fishing because he had the opportunity to go make his fishing show, which I'm sure, yeah, he wanted to bring fishing to more folks and was able to do that through that. But it also was a steady income. Like whoever it was back in the day, and I can't remember where we used to watch those, it might have been ESPN, whatever it was, said, hey, here's $70,000 for the year. Go make me 10 episodes of a show.
Yep.
Well, that's a no-brainer. Like I can fish, and if I win 4 tournaments out of the 8 I fish, I'll make the same. I can go film a show, and I'm going to make steady income, and I'm going to check every week. So, you used to kind of had to make a decision, and now you don't necessarily have to do that. Hank Parker was another guy that left tournament fishing to make a show, and you don't see that now. You see folks that can do it while they do it because they turn their tournament day into a show and post it to their socials or wherever it is that they post. So Steph, it's an interesting time that we live in as far as angling and dissemination of information and shows and things like that.
I think one of the things that's I can't tell you if it's frustrating or not, but you got a lot of people in the outdoor space, and a lot of people can put on a facade on social media and make it look like they're anglers, make it look like they're outdoorsmen, outdoorswomen, and so on and so forth. And they're killing it. They're killing it from a content creator perspective. They're absolutely raking in monetized money from Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and you name it, because they're holding up a redfish in a bikini. right? Or shirtless with a 6-pack. I got a keg, so that's where most people goes where the keg's at, not the 6-pack. There's more beer there. But anyways, but they're crushing it, man. And I think that probably gets a little frustrating for actual professional anglers, right? But we talked about it. How do you define yourself as a professional? If I'm on Instagram or I'm on TikTok and I'm constantly catching fish and I'm posting content and TikTok and Instagram and everything is paying me money, am I a professional angler? Am I a professional content creator? I don't know. So it probably gets a little frustrating from the social media side of the house.
Yeah. Tim said, I respect those that win consistently, but I like to listen to those that connect to the viewer. Your boy Destin DeMarion is good to listen to. Yeah, Destin's great.
Phenomenal.
He is very good at connecting, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, dumbing things down, or how did Brad and Paul put it? Talking in caveman terms. So he gets it down to a level where everybody can understand, where it's just like dock talk. It's like talking to another guy at the dock, and that's probably like when you listen to Jacob Wheeler, and I'll use him for example. Like he talks in very, very technical terms. And he's not the best at breaking down and kind of getting it down on a level that every angler is going to talk. So I'm with you on that, Tim. Like if they can get on the level of who's that? Tony, he's drinking. I'm drinking Coke because I'm on call, and he's drinking
Bush lattes. Bush lattes only for Lee Livesey. Let's go back up to Tim's comment real quick. He asked about Timmy Horton. I just want to make sure that we answer that. I'm not going to name everything that Timmy won. Tim Trini, he asked, like, what has Timmy Horton won? But I will say the last time he won was 2003 on Wheeler Lake, and that was a $100,000 payout. But Timmy's another one, right? Like Timmy is he an owner of Profound Outdoors? He owns Profound Outdoors, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or he's part of it for sure. Timmy's been around a long time, and he doesn't really win a lot, but he's been around. He has a good social media following. He goes and works a lot of the fishing exposés and a lot of shows and stuff like that.
Well, that's why he took that year off. I mean, he
took a full year off. I mean, hell, but yeah, I think the point is you don't have to catch them and win every time to be successful in the industry. Hell, you don't even have to fish to be in the industry.
Rodney, I think you're right. I think those shows did start on TNN back in the day. It's been a long time, but
yeah. Showing our age here, Rodney.
Moser Boy said, I personally don't believe an individual is professional because they get paid through social media platforms. Just my opinion. Yeah, that's your opinion. Yeah. To me, if you're doing anything and you're getting paid, it means enough people like what you're doing or watching what you're doing and are listening to what you're doing to drive that income. So to me, you're probably a pro if you're getting paid to do it, but I understand where you're coming from.
You can be a professional scam artist, dude.
Yeah. Elijah said the people who drive most of their income from fishing are the pros in tournaments. Yep, I need to clarify that comment. You're good, man.
David, by the way, I know you said you need to clarify that comment, but Jessica, she was just on from Black's Tire and Auto. So she's the one that I talked to about your receiver and your trailer hitch and stuff. So hit me up or go direct to Black's Tire and Auto, man, and we'll get you taken care of here in Sanford for that stuff.
Yep, absolutely. What's going on? Hendricks Fishing Company in the house. They sent Ben some frogs.
Dude,
I'm getting ready to throw them.
Let me go grab those frogs.
I really like some of the colors. They're a little bit different. So they're going to work real well where Trey and I are fixing to go this weekend. Hopefully this weather didn't mess up my frog bite too bad, but absolutely, David. Yeah, Black's a Tire, man. If you're in the area, definitely go to Black's Tire and Auto. They are awesome. Good people, good service, good prices, all that good stuff. This is not an ad. This is just Trey and I talking personal experience. Yeah, Jessica, you're welcome to pay us for all this business. My commission's low. But yeah, there's one of those Hendricks frog. You can go put it up there at the camera.
Yeah, dude. So, hey, again, like Pete and I and Ben here at the One Cast, like we don't get paid for anything, by the way. So if you're a company looking for advertising, reach out to us because we have a huge target audience following. But I will say this frog right here. So we got a couple Hendricks frogs. Hendricks is on with us right now. So these frogs, man, Ben gave Pete and I a couple of these. I think you're taking the solid red one and the solid, was it the black or blue one down?
It's like a green, pumpkin, blue, and then black and red.
Here, we haven't fished these yet. We're definitely going to give you feedback when we go down to the river. But I can tell you one of the things instantly that I like about these frogs is the fact that when I flip them over to size my legs to the eyelet, I don't have to cut anything. So that's super cool. I hate having to make modifications to a bait once I get them out of the package. The second thing I like about it is the plastic for the largemouth or whatever fish, I guess, but for the fish to crush that plastic down in order to get a good hook set, it doesn't seem like it takes a lot. Now, there's a lot of frogs out there on the market that have some really stiff plastic or super, super soft plastic where that frog tears up really easy. So Hendrix Fishing, while you're watching this, we haven't caught anything yet, but we are going to throw these. I'm going to throw this one right here. And this bullfrog colored one when I get down to the river here on Sunday. So we will give you feedback, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. David said, got to finish getting the kayak loaded for the morning. Be safe. Have fun tomorrow. Yep. You too, David. Have fun. Good luck. Tony asked, you going to Guntersville? No, Tony, we're going to fish some rivers here in eastern North Carolina. Elijah said, I've been using a new bad to the bone frog. Michelle Thomason. Hey, I hope you're having a good Friday too, Michelle. Good to see you. Appreciate that for sure. Looking forward to the results, feedback. Yeah, we'll definitely let you know, Hendrix. Looking forward to throwing them. I am on staff with another frog company, so I'm kind of partial to them, but I'm looking forward to trying them because you have some of the color combos you sent to Ben that we got.
I'm not
different.
On staff, so go ahead and holler at me.
And I'm looking forward to trying some of the different color combos and trying to frog. Like Trey said, they have the right body. The legs are pretty much pre-trimmed. You don't need to do much. Trey size them to the eye. I just hold them up and cut what I think looks good. I don't really measure anything. So sometimes they're short, sometimes they're a little longer, but yeah, looking forward to throwing those. And who doesn't love to catch fish on a frog? So,
dude, seriously,
I don't know that there's much better.
So listen, y'all, like if you love frog fishing, there's two places I recommend going. And honestly, I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan, so you can fish frogs in the north all the time. But if you're in the North Carolina area, and we're not going to give you the waypoints, but you got to go down to the Roanoke River in eastern North Carolina. The second place that I highly recommend you go fish frogs is on Kissimmee or the St. Johns River. And when I went down there, was it last weekend, Pete?
Yeah.
That is the minus a couple other techniques. Frogs were the deal. Hendrix, I will say one thing. If you make a junior size frog, send it, right? And I'm going to say that because I have noticed over my very limited experience in fishing, but I seem to some odd reason catch them sometimes. Junior style frogs, smaller profile frogs, sometimes here in North Carolina get bit better.
Yeah,
they just do, right? Or at least your hookup ratio is better. But we're gonna fish those.
Mr. David Blanton said, "Quit sending people down east." Mr. Blanton, I'm sending them to your creek. no, that system down there is big enough for a bunch of people. So it'll.
Oh yeah, and he said no need to boil these, dude. I don't boil my frogs.
You guys ever tape your tournament days? Yeah, I tape mine, but it's usually just me cussing a lot and breaking her on the side of the boat because things don't go my way.
Dude, I'm telling you, so that's funny you asked that. Who asked that? Tim, yeah. So, well, who said hi from Kalamazoo? Let me take a wild guess. Is it Cindy?
Yep.
Oh, hey, mama. So my mommy's on.
He said, "Get ahead, Mr. Blanton."
So my mom's on. Thank you, Mom. So boiling frogs. No, I haven't done it. I haven't had to because there's a company that I have on my wall that I use a lot of their baits exclusively. I think I do need to boil their frogs.
100%. I know.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to name them here because I don't want to do that. But there is a company I believe I need to boil their frogs, and that's because their plastic is extremely, extremely tough. And as far as going to like taping the tournaments, Tim, dude, I don't know what it is, but I do not think about a camera at all when I'm fishing a tournament.
Yeah.
It's terrible of me. I just feel like it's something I don't want on my mind, and I probably should do that. Not that you're going to see much though, because I suck.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I record, I always have my GoPro running, but Elijah, did you say we have smaller fish in North Carolina?
I mean, my first fish of 2023 here in North Carolina was 8 pounds even. So I guess that is a pretty small fish, though.
Yeah. I think my first one in North Carolina was like 6 something, but babies.
We got gold.
No, really, Elijah, what it is here is there's so few fisheries where you can really effectively fish a frog that work, that's set up right, whether it be bank grass or pads or whatever it is, that those areas do get pounded by guys that want to go out and throw those throw those frogs. I should pull my Facebook up and show some pictures of what
Pete caught, what was it, a small 6 pound 15 ounce.
This one's a baby.
Yeah,
look at this. I'll show you a baby I caught on a junior frog.
This is photoshopped, by the way.
Yeah, this is 100%
Photoshop.
This little what is that thing doing? Where'd it go?
Don't share my wallet.
Oh, I gotta save the image. Hold on, let me save it to my desktop. Well, we'll talk. Yeah, this is a baby that I caught on a frog. And I'm about to share it for y'all. And don't judge me too hard. This was on a junior frog. They do catch smaller
tiny
fish.
Tiny fish.
It is definitely a baby.
There you go.
Yeah, that little guy was very much.
I know he's joking.
Yeah, I know you're kidding. So am I. But
that's
yeah,
a good
sometimes this fish was nasty, man. It stunk like he'd been living in a dang swamp for a month.
That's because you had
it missing an eye. Like
Pete kept it in his fish cage for a week.
That's right. No, but Elijah, those high pressure stuff, and I one of the pros, I think it was actually Matt Robertson, just did a video about it because he's a scum frog guy, and he was talking about their smaller frogs they just came out with, and the wave of folks going to those smaller frogs. And I really think it is just a matter of fish have seen a lot of frogs in the last like 20 years, and they're all basically the same size. They're a 2.5 inch body with 2.5 inch legs. So a 4-inch frog is what they've seen, and so they don't eat it as good as they used to. I mean, I can tell you plenty of times I've been throwing that bigger frog and they'll roll on it, they'll blow up on it, they just push it, they come up behind it and push it, and then I downsize and they start choking it. So slowly dragging frogs over grass mats on a sunny day is deadly. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been throwing. Yeah, so Toe Thumpers is the company that I'm on staff with, and they have quickly become my favorite flogger because they are nice and soft. They have good hooks. So I don't have to bend out or anything. And
so Henrik, so when you hear that, you're hearing that so basically everything you've produced minus the junior, and I know you say you're going to produce the junior soon. Like I'm telling you, man, the junior for me, and I know for Pete, because Pete, like full disclosure, before Pete fished a tournament, he came and grabbed a couple junior of a certain brand off my wall and went down and fished it because when we pre-fished, like they were connecting better. And you got to think of it this way too, depending on what you're fishing, right? So if you're fishing sporadic pads that have, 3 to 4 to 5 inches between the pads, or if you're fishing dollar pads, or if you're fishing really tight pads and they maybe got 1 inch to 2 inch between the pads, you're going to have to manipulate your bait in a certain way. And the way that I look at it is I have really thick pads, and they're not necessarily eating it on the very edge, but they're eating it in the pads. I'm going to try to downsize to a junior so that body is not popping off the pad when they go to blow it up. However, if they're eating at the very edge of the pads, which is very common for Pete, you can get away with a full-size body frog or what is that thing you throw?
Oh, like the horny toad.
The horny toads or something like that. So it really just depends on what you're trying to do. So that's why I have 2 frog rods that I'm taking out of the Roanoke with me, one with a regular size, one with a junior size, and we'll see what the fish are telling me for that day.
Yeah, I'll have 3. I'll have a regular frog, a junior frog.
I don't have that much money. I have 2 rods.
I'm very blessed. To have a hookup with some rods.
So who's going fishing this weekend?
And where are you going? Miss Flint, we can see down the river?
Where? The reason I suggested videotaping, I remember watching Bassmaster.
Yeah. So, Tim, that's
Yep.
something we want to do. Education's a big thing for us. We always say we're going to do it when we go out, but then we end up fishing and we, we just end up fishing and do.
We're gonna record this weekend.
Oh, I'm going to have my
We're
GoPro.
recording this weekend.
We'll try to get some stuff going this weekend.
Tim's absolutely
put
right.
it out there
Like,
because you're absolutely right.
That game footage, Tim, that game footage is absolutely like, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for here? Too many bush lattes.
That game tape.
That game tape.
It's a great way to learn. I mean,
it's like it's empirical evidence of you doing either something right or something drastically wrong. And so, and what do we like to do? We like to cut all the footage out until we get the hook set and we catch the fish. But all of the stuff in between there is us missing fish, throwing the wrong baits, all those things. And so you're right, Tim, like we need to get back at showing the things that aren't working so that viewers can learn. And that's going to happen this weekend.
Yeah, I think we'll fire the cameras up as we're getting ready to launch. Tony says he can use a live.
What do you mean?
I'm sure they'll eat that bad.
What do you mean, Hendricks? Hendricks said raining here, no fishing. Dude,
they eat in the rain. They're already wet. They don't mind.
Fish ain't scared of water, first. Secondly, I have my most productive days when it's raining. Now, if we're talking horizontal rain or like lightning, nah, get out of here with that. But if it's a good warm shower, man, it's the best day in the water for me.
Michelle, I need to come down to Fish Gunnersville with you guys. Bring Chelsea down. Michelle and her husband are absolute Gunnersville hammers.
Dude.
Down there just smashing them big old Gunnersville bass.
I need to get on
if you're not following her, check her social stuff out. Like lots of good content on there. They do a good job of showing what they're doing. Yeah, so I think this weekend, Trey, we get there, bring your GoPro. We'll hook it up somewhere. I'll have mine. And we'll record the entire day, and we'll try to talk about what we're doing, why we're moving, when we're moving, things, our thought process. So it won't be a tournament, but we'll fish it like a tournament.
Yes.
We'll put in at first light. We'll fish and we'll talk through, what we're doing and what does work, what doesn't work. And maybe I'll pay our editor extra to edit out some of the boring stuff, like when we're running, because I'm terrible at editing. But yeah, that'd be cool, man.
If you guys want to see that stuff, send us some stars on Facebook. send us some stars on Facebook so we can get a little extra cash flow to pay our editor, the editor's fees. And fishing on a no name lake reservoir in Northwest Missouri. Table Rock.
Some of those know, yeah, Table Rock.
I don't.
The Ozarks.
Look at the Ozarks.
Never.
Hendricks Fishing. If it's not thundering, then for sure they'll go. I think we have a weekend of pop-up thunderstorms, though. That's and dude, let me tell you, last weekend down in Florida, and if you guys follow our Instagram or follow our Facebook community page, I'll post it again so you can see it if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I took a quick 20-second snapshot of the shelf cloud that came in when we were on Lake Toho, and no kidding, my boater, Michael Johns, if he's on this, he should be FX3 Incorporated. His Garmin lost GPS signal. That's how bad the electricity was in the air. Like I thought, we hunkered down and tucked our tail between our legs, and we thought we were in for it. Thankfully, Florida storms, they pass relatively quickly for the most part. But dude, it ain't worth getting out in a thunderstorm.
Did you guys get close down in the cockpit of the boat? Just get as low as you could.
I'm telling you right now, I thought there were mortars incoming.
Who was the big spoon?
Mike is bigger than me, so he was big spoon.
That's fair.
Yeah, he was definitely big spoon.
That's probably how it went too.
Yeah. but yeah, definitely don't jeopardize yourself for some green fish.
Years ago, my kids took over my free time. I fished a club, and at the end of a tournament, the winners would discuss their winning patterns and baits and why they chose them. It would help some of the less experienced club members. A good club, a good club will share information. And like I said, I understand not sharing waypoints or maybe not saying exactly where you are, but if you're in a good club, that's why I like my club. Everybody will tell you what they were throwing. If they were throwing one thing that wasn't working and they made a color change or whatever, and that worked, it gives you an idea what to look for if you get into similar conditions. So
What, Michelle, you said, yes, come on over, still catching them on the crazy Russian spy Chad Chad. So much fun. What is the Russian spy?
The KGB Chad.
Chad Chad.
You're not a swim bait guy, so
No, I'm not a swim bait guy. I can swim with baits, but I'm not a swim bait guy.
I'm gonna get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chad Chad stuff to beat, and it's a ton of fun when they're eating that big joker. For anybody that's looking to get into a great bait that's a little bit lower, if you can find the Spro Chad Shad, pick you one up, and man, it gets bit.
Michelle, you're gonna have to send us some KGP spy chads.
Spy Chad Chads. I have a KGB original, but I get nervous throwing it because they're tough to come by. But yeah, if y'all want to see that, we'll record record our
take the batteries out, plug them in so they don't overheat.
We'll record our adventure this week. Yeah. I have an extra plug.
You got an extra plug?
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna bring one. So
yeah, bring your cable. You can plug it right into the boat. And
cigarette lighter?
No, just a USB. I have a USB port in mine.
Okay, my boat's
a dual
old school.
USB and I have a cigarette lighter. So either one.
Okay, let's do it.
We can make it happen.
We're gonna get some footage for you guys. We'll hopefully put it up on the next Fishing Friday live and see how many fish we don't catch.
Yeah, and you can go if you go to my TikTok, Pete Chandrick Fishing. It's nothing but fish catches. I don't put all the.
If you go to mine, it's terrible. So don't go to it.
Trey just has TikTok to watch videos.
For real. Use your YOLO Tech. I don't have a YOLO Tech. I want to get one of those. So
I have one for the back of the boat, but if I have somebody back there, I don't use it because it gets. Oh, excuse me.
Mike Johns gives me SHIT on GoPros. He's like, you need a Tacticam. So he uses like this lime green Tacticam or whatever. But it's all the same. Whatever. If it records, it records.
Yeah, it's cool just to have that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Have that stuff available.
To record 10 hours. 10 hours on what? Oh, on the YOLO Tech, like powering the deal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I can record all
10 hours. I feel like the SD cards won't hold that much footage.
I have a giant SD card.
Oh.
Hope you all reminded phone needs more life.
You need a YOLO Tech, Hendrix.
That's right. Yeah, we'll definitely let you know how the frogs work.
Dude, we're gonna throw them, man. So appreciate you sending them our way, and we'll hopefully get some footage for you.
Yep, I didn't get throw them last time I was down there because it was a tournament, and I had to throw what I was confident in. So we'll get out there and get bid on them. I have no doubt, and looking forward to that. And we'll let you know. So thanks again for sending those to Ben, and then we'll try to get some video for you too and stuff.
The same goes for everyone listening and all your friends. If you share this with your friends, like if you guys are like up and coming in the bait business, whether or not soft plastics, hard baits, it doesn't really make a difference. If you guys are looking for somebody to actually put them to the test, like send them our way. Like we'll help you out. Stop down in South Carolina on the way down to Kissimmee. Last weekend, stopped and met up with the owner of Fat Belly Tackle and got some prototype baits from him. Threw those down in Florida. Going to throw those on the Roanoke and the Chowan River and stuff like that. And like we're absolutely willing to do that because we're going to give you the objective feedback based on our experience. So
yep, and we're not asking for anything for free.
Nope.
I'll throw you some cash or whatever, but I'm also not going to talk up a product if it doesn't work. So
yeah, if it's trash, it's trash, man. Like be prepared.
Elijah, I'd love to come fish Toledo. Was that you that said that? Yeah. It's a little far for this weekend, but we got another buddy that just moved out that way too. So we need to plan a trip over there to chase some of those big old Toledo Bend donkeys.
Yeah. Well, KVD stomping grounds.
But yeah, we got quite a few folks reaching out. Trey and I fish a lot. I mean, Trey, between the two of us, we probably are on the water every day in some capacity. Even if it's just there's a little pond where I'm at, I'll just walk around it sometimes and mess around with new baits or trying different stuff. And then one of us will usually be on Harris if we are jumping the other one's boat, or even Jordan. So we get out almost every day during this time of year when you can fish till dang near 10 o'clock at night.
I know the Army is coming to a point where they're asking me where the hell I'm at. They're like, you're gonna report for duty, and I'm like
Army stuff, bro?
Maybe not.
I'll be there when I get there. So yeah, if we can do that for y'all and test them out and give you honest feedback, and we don't have to put feedback out there on the internet if it's not good. If it is good and you want us to share our opinions on it, then we'll give you a little bit of free advertising one time. So definitely let us know if you're a bait maker and want us to try anything. Like I said, we're not asking for free. Gladly send you a couple bucks because I know it's not cheap. Everything's going up. I haven't even looked, but I'm sure plastisol is getting crazy, and I'm sure lead. I know lead's up. Ben's talked about with us some with the jigs and stuff, and the price of lead going up, and having to buy that to do everything. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to getting out this weekend, doing a little fishing. Looked like it was going to be a wash, but now it looks like the rain is pushed. We're going to get some decent weather. And I think there's a chance for some pop-up thunderstorms in the afternoon, but that's North Carolina in June, July, and August. Pretty much kind of like Atlanta. There's a chance every day when you get to that point. Luckily, I don't think we got as much rain as they were originally predicted. Because there were some days, Tuesday, I think it was the original. They were saying we were going to get inch of rain on Tuesday, and definitely didn't end up getting that much. We did get some rain, but not a dang inch. Now, I drove over Jordan today on my way home, and it was up. It was up a little bit, maybe 1.5 feet. It wasn't too bad. So, but I was on the lower end, so it takes a little bit longer to get there, but still, it'll be interesting to see what the river looks like. We can always go out and fish the sound.
Will you pull up the Heroes Harvest website real quick?
Yeah.
Hey guys, so
big
real
spinnerbait
quick
bite this weekend? Probably not, but maybe.
So I wanna throw out this, and Pete's gonna share the screen with you. So, Heroes. So, one of the nonprofit organization, the 501c3 that I work with, I'm the director of fishing for them, and I've been kind of falling behind the power curve just because of the summer gets so busy and stuff. But our mission is to provide to the nation's veterans and provide them an opportunity for outdoor therapy. If you have the ability,
Alex Watts, Missile Baits in the house. What's up?
Oh, what's up? If you guys have the ability, head on over to heroesharvest.org. Pete's going to share the screen with you right now. You can check out our past events. You can check out our upcoming events. You can also find the spot in there that says donate. If you guys donate, all of that money goes towards supporting the veterans in the outdoor space, whether or not that's through hunting, fishing, camping, horseback riding, whatever the case may be. We have volunteers all over the continental United States that really volunteer a lot of their time and space to help our nation's veterans out. We deal with 6,000 suicides a year in the veteran community, and there's not really a better way that we as a nonprofit organization have found about tackling this issue. So right there, as you can see, upcoming events, that'll show you exactly what's coming up as far as some of the events, some of our sponsor deals right there. We're in collaboration this year with the Piedmont Bass Classics. We hosted the Spring Warrior Clash. That was a really good turnout. I'm going to start running some singleton events with myself, maybe getting a couple other boaters involved, and that's nothing more than applying on the website and then doing a raffle and figuring out who's going to win a day trip and stuff like that. But head on over to heroesharvest.org. Donate if you can. Check out the upcoming events. If you're a veteran or if you're continuing to serve on active duty and you want to apply for one of those events, you'll fill out the required fields. And at the bottom, it's either going to ask for your common access card, a picture of your common access card, or it's going to ask for a picture of your defense DD, Department of Defense Form 214, DD 214, and you can apply for those events. So we're constantly looking for donors and people to help out, support the 501c3, and there's thousands of them across the continental United States, but there's more veterans struggling than there are nonprofits out there to help them. And the VA is the Veterans Affairs. They're completely overloaded with people at the lines right now. So if you guys can find it in your heart, head on over there and help us out.
Hey Tim, just shoot me a message and I'll send over their stuff. You can get with Trey, and if you're looking to do something, he can help you guide if you're doing some veteran stuff. And that's why we shared at the beginning of the show. You see it scrolling across the bottom. These 4 organizations here are all veteran related. For His Glory, FX3 Inc., Heroes Harvest, and Special Operations Bass Anglers. All do fishing related events or are involved in fishing to some extent and are looking to to help our veterans. So make sure you check them out if you're able to, and support them if you're able to. Again, it doesn't have to be financial, even if it's even if you live close to an event that's going on. Maybe volunteer your time if you have some to go do it, or pay an entry fee and take somebody fishing. Like Trey said, he wants to do some smaller stuff. I volunteered my time in boat, and I know we have a lot of folks that would jump in that, even if it's just going out on a weekend and having a little bit of fun. Elijah said, I'm an Army veteran also. That's what our tournament organization does as well. We donate a portion of all entry fees. That's awesome, Elijah.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's one of the things I got to come up with a creative way to figure out, like some donations to go towards the cause, because, COVID really threw a wrench in the gear with a lot of donors just due to the logistical issues and stuff that our country faced and is still facing. So it's no surprise when you go to a company and say, hey, listen, like, this is our outreach program. This is what our mission statement is. This is what our intent is. And we really want to support our nation's veterans, myself being active duty, every single person that serves on the board, the president himself, Mitch Vasquez. He was a former first sergeant that I served with. But a lot of those companies didn't have the means due to the logistical issues that we dealt with during COVID. Hopefully things are starting to get back on track and stuff like that. And we're trying to figure out, like, hey, how can we get some more donor support so we can continue running these turkey hunts, these bass fishing trips, these steelhead fishing trips, elk hunting trips, all sorts of stuff, and getting those veterans that are struggling with PTSD and kind of, countering that suicidal thoughts, like, get that mission out there. So if anybody's interested, reach out to us and we'll help you out.
Yeah, however we can. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's heavy stuff, man. Like, we all know somebody that's succumbed to those demons and the stuff they've seen. And same with I came up through first responders. I was a paramedic firefighter for quite a while, and it's we deal with stuff too here on the home front. And I know several friends that have taken their own lives in the last several years, and it's not an easy thing. That stuff sneaks up on you. And I actually hit Trey up about some help because I was having a rough go a couple weeks ago that came from out of nowhere. I've been out of that game for almost 10 years now, and all that stuff sticks with you and it sneaks up on you. And don't be too proud to reach out for help, because we got to help each other, our brothers, our sisters, whether it's combat arms, if it's here on the home front, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. So
that's a fact, man. Like, don't be too proud to make yourself vulnerable for seeking some sort of help. Like, it is the hardest thing you ever have to do, but once you do it, like, it's far more rewarding than anything. And if you know somebody struggling, if you know somebody that just isn't integrating in society well, and they're doing the things that show you that there's a red flag, like, reach out to them. Insulate, don't isolate type situation. And there's a ton of resources out there to help people out.
Amen. All right, let's get out of that hole.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing to talk about, because, we want to make sure everybody's aware, but, so yeah, coming up on an hour, and we talked about eating bass. Elijah, yep, you serve, so you know how that, we all know how it is. So Elijah looks like he's got another resource going. I think we're gonna try to get him on one of these to talk about what they have going on down there in Louisiana and with the organization that he's around, and try to get as much of that info out as we can. So help as many people as possible. But Trey, you got anything else, man?
No, Pete, you can put my number in the comments if you want, or link my number if anybody's looking to help out on the donor side or taking people fishing. Reach out to me via text message. I'll be more than happy. Just put your name and your first and last name in the text message, and I'll go ahead and respond to you ASAP.
I'm gonna put it in there now. I'm gonna put Trey's in. This will go out to most of those that are watching. You're going to see his number pop up. And then I'm going to put mine as well. Either one of us, let us know who you are, and let us know that whether you're just looking for somebody to talk to, if you want help finding resources, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to hit up either one of us at any time, any hour of the day. My phone's always on, and I'm always there to help somebody that might need it.
Yep. Absolutely. Appreciate it, Rodney. We hope you guys have a great weekend. We hope you guys go break some jaws on your lakes, your rivers, whatever the case, your ponds. Send us your pictures. Let us know your success. Hinder so to get out there and sling some of your frogs around. And like Pete said, if you got anything that you want tested, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.
Yep, we appreciate y'all jumping on. We appreciate the good conversation, and appreciate y'all helping us build a community.
One cast
of
at a time.
anglers helping anglers, one cast at a time.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Yeah. I wake up to a little bit of drool.